In Between Planes, where grown adults pretend to shoot fireballs at each other with cardboard. Calf EDH Productions proudly brings you the podcast none of us wanted, but all of us needed. This is Attempt to Cast.
Welcome to Attempt to Cast, the podcast that continues to shame our ancestors. With me today is the champion of our local Creed karaoke contest, Matt.
Thanks for having me.
Wonderful. And a man who is both Mentos fresh and full of life, it's John. And here to exorcise the demons of our past and find peace within our inner children, it's Mariah.
Just here for 3 lotto tickets.
Free lotto tickets.
Mariah's paid in lottery tickets.
That's not really what I'm paid in.
How's everybody doing?
I'm doing
Welcome
good.
to episode 5.
I feel like we've done so many more.
We've done 6 technically. The first one was a pilot.
And the Lost episode.
And the lost episode.
The last episode that's behind the paywall.
We'll release it when we get to 1 billion subs.
A billion subs. That's just all feet. It's just all feet.
All feet.
But since we met last time, we've had our hands more in Innistrad, and then Aetherdrift pre-release started yesterday. Yesterday was the 7th, Friday, and we've got our hands on a few. Me and Mariah have. I know John got a little bit today. Not sure about you, John, or you, Matt, but
No, nothing yet.
we've been looking into it, and that's something we want to talk about today. Recently, I polled our TikTok followers about the current state of Magic.
Current state of magic.
The current state of Magic.
Current state of magic.
The current state of Magic.
Current state of magic. The current state of magic.
The current state of magic.
The current state of magic.
The current state of Magic. And from my poll of the current state of Magic, I got a lot of responses. Most of them negative, right? That's going to be the nature of the
because
beast.
there's people out there who are not happy unless they're not happy.
But I don't want to overshadow their concerns too. Like, some of it's valid, some of it's
Yeah.
whiny, complainy bullshit. I don't want new players in my I don't want fingers in my pie. I want generic OG Magic.
germs.
Yeah.
That's a throwback now. Dang.
Yeah.
I don't like that. That fucking state of mind pisses me off. It's
No.
like, get out of here.
I agree.
Quit being gatekeepery.
But there's people who are upset genuinely about how much they're releasing, how quick, and their
Yeah.
pockets can't keep up.
Well,
Not just their pockets, but like their brains can't.
Your
keep up.
attention, yeah, it's like it's something that when your hobby starts demanding like all of your attention.
Yeah.
But then it's on you to like pick and shoot. Like I don't like Aetherdrift. I don't care. Like I
Right.
didn't care about Innistrad. I think the next set I'm going to care about probably Final
Well, and
Fantasy.
that's the thing is you don't have to care
Yes.
every single
Yep.
set that comes out.
Right.
You can just be like, I don't fucking care that
Right.
they're releasing vehicles, or I don't care that they're releasing mice.
Yeah. Yeah.
So like, there's so many sets of magic that like pick something else. I want to make a Griffin deck. I want to be pulling from a bunch of different sets to make a Griffin deck.
Yeah.
And it's gonna be fun. Just new sets. You can ignore
Yeah.
so many things in Magic
Yeah.
and just look the other way.
I
Like
mean, I'm pretty much ignoring Innistrad Remastered just because it doesn't feel like it's grabbing my attention.
I
that's
just want
fine.
the poster arts mostly.
Great. And it's
Mostly.
fine.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to appeal to you.
Right.
Yeah.
You don't have to be mad about it.
Yeah, no one's asking you.
Yeah.
Money on it.
I got a lot of feedback about around quality, like not just how much is coming out, but like it's affecting. One person mentioned, I don't want to call anybody out by name from their comments
Yeah,
because I didn't get permission from them, but somebody on the comments mentioned that because they're releasing so much content, lore content, that it's affecting the quality of the lore too. It's like they went like the block setting used to give you like
Yeah.
better
Both those.
MTG lore.
Yeah.
Both those players.
Both those players. I did get some really good feedback. Some people were saying that it's keeping them really interested. Obviously, those people have ADHD, called out. But they're saying it's keeping them engaged. Whatever. I do agree to some point that they're like it feels a bit floody. But that's kind of the point of this segment. Is we did get a lot of really great feedback that I'll touch on as we go. But I'd like to have everybody else's like at the table's opinion about where we sit. Where Magic sits as a whole. I mean, I know I've thought about this a lot lately. The current state of Magic.
Okay, so like, I don't know, my 2 cents is like, it's fine, dude. It's Magic. It's not hopefully going anywhere, right? Like, we're all fans of Magic.
Yeah.
I'm excited for a couple of the sets this year. I've enjoyed a majority of what's come out this last year, and so you can't knock it till you try it. Like, yeah, everyone's worried about the SpongeBob cards coming out in Secret Lair. That in no way. Yeah, just don't fucking buy them.
And don't play them against me. Thank you.
No, dude, so if I was like, yo, I got Patrick Star or like Emrakul, what do you want to play against? Dude, like, it's Magic. Why does it have to stop just because SpongeBob's off of Nickelodeon? Or
That's part of the question. Oh, go ahead. Yeah. But,
Why do we have to gatekeep just to your interests?
right. That's part of the question, John. How do you feel about the incorporation? I know we talked about this in an earlier episode, but this kind of prevalent. How do you feel about the incorporation of all the extra IP?
it's like as long as it's not offensive IPs, you know what I mean? Because those like such things exist.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I'm on board. It's whatever, dude. Like, there's Magic cards I like, and then Magic cards I'm like, oh, I want to spend money on that. Yeah, I don't know. I make my judgment and I move on and I buy the next cat card that I see. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
I agree.
I think I agree with a lot of what you're saying. I agree a lot with
Disagree with something now.
with what people are saying about just ignore it or whatever, which is fine.
Yeah.
But one thing that I think the people who are snotty about it or like really worried about what the new IP is gonna do,
Not the right word.
people being little bitches about it, is that better?
Baby back
bitches,
About the
fucking
what?
the smelly nerds about all the new IP. And I get maybe 50% is a lot. Like I'm not saying that you can't be salty about it at all, right? Be upset about it if you want. Be upset about how much of it is happening, how fast it is, and what that says about the future, right? The problem is like this game. I think we've talked about a lot. This game is dying. The player base is dying, right?
Aging out, yeah.
Yeah, we're all like the oldest players of this are 20 years older than us,
right?
10, 20 years older than us. And we're some of the older player base we see, which is cool to some point, but like it's not. In order for it to grow and continue to thrive, it needs to bring in new blood. And the way you do that is
you register all of the Magic players.
Jesus.
Everybody gets a micro.
I just want to know how many of us there are, dude.
They estimate 50 million. Wizards estimates 50 million
50 million.
across the globe.
That's not bad though.
No.
Cool statistic to know.
Yeah.
Like,
It's an estimate. And to elaborate, like they don't most Magic players have never been to a Friday Night Magic or ever gone to a tournament.
Yeah.
And so
They call Mark Rosewater calls them kitchen table players. That's where the term comes from.
Kind of where we are.
Wonder where we play.
The way I see it is like it is a lot to keep up with as someone who works full time and has like 2 small kids. But like I just choose not to care.
Yeah.
You just can't care about everything. Otherwise you're gonna just be emotionally drained all the time.
Do you think it's more like collectors that are upset that there's like a flood of different Magic cards and they're like, there's too many to collect now and I can't afford it?
I don't want to be too negative about it, but I don't think it's I don't think it's a specific type. I think the only specific type that it precludes to, that sentiment precludes to, is just whiny people who want to gatekeep it.
No, yeah, like it's like,
and I was trying to say it earlier, like, I get that you can be upset that that's too much IP, but like getting upset that they're doing it at all is different. Like I know you feel stronger about it than we do about like how much they're pulling away from the Magic story into other universes beyond. And and maybe not enough to quit or not enough to like seriously complain about. But like you've been playing longer than us. But like that's the healthy amount, is to be like, yeah, I wish they were doing more Magic and less Universes Beyond. But you got to see why they're doing it, and maybe they're doing it for money. Money is a big part of it, right?
Why do you run a fucking business?
Right.
You don't run a business if you don't want money.
No.
There's an easy way to get them to stop buying their shit.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, and also like, there's the old adage of like, vote with your wallet. Well, when every Universes Beyond outsells Universes Within,
No, and that's what.
And
And like, maybe that's
what message are you sending to the company?
But here's the thing, with all their older players, let's be honest, they're going to start dying out
Or moving on.
or moving on.
Yeah,
or like
Magic's-
you said, you're busy.
Yeah.
Someone's
So they're trying to bring in younger people.
Right, with more free
People
time.
with more free time, more expendable money.
it goes back to the fact that we're aging up, and
Yeah.
IPs don't like to age up and out of their demographic, and like we're aging out of the demographic for tabletop card games,
Yeah.
and that's okay.
Right.
Maybe as time goes on, the demographic will like widen, and they'll be like, yo, this one is for the dudes that are 30 and they want more.
That's what
violent,
Lord of the
more-
Rings was.
more-
Right,
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, there's going to be. That's what X-Men are.
Right.
Like, are you kidding me? We're like, there's 40-year-olds that are going to be dressed up like Wolverine
Right.
buying the X-Men packs when it comes out.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
But also, it's more acceptable for older generations like us and even younger generations to start playing these games now.
Yeah.
So
Nerd
you
culture is
have to-
way
nerd
more
culture,
accepted.
And we
Yeah.
have to.
It's a fad.
Yeah.
Nerd culture can't be the one that says you can't sit at the table and play with us.
Right.
You're, like, you
Right.
don't get to be that table
Yeah.
after you've been kicked off the table.
Yeah.
And dude, like that sucks. Like you don't get to be the bully. Real bully, where it's like, yo, you can't play with me.
Yeah, that's
you have
insane.
some SpongeBob in your deck, or even proxies. You can't play with me. You have proxies? No.
Fuck
like,
off, yeah.
I've never heard someone say that. I've never heard someone be that obtuse towards proxies. You should not be that way towards a strange IP. Did anyone freak out like over SpongeBob from My Little Pony? Because those cards exist. I just avoid them.
I wasn't in the
I'm
game
not a
with them.
fan.
I think they're
know
cute.
people love them. I just don't care for them, so
Yeah.
I'm not going to buy the My
Right.
Little Pony cards. dude.
Right.
And here's on that topic, right? We're talking about how we're consciously doing that. We're consciously saying that any IP we don't like, we'll just ignore, and we'll just continue to enjoy our Magic and play our pod, right? I feel like it's going to be the same for these people who are complaining about it. They're going to be like, I don't like all of this new IP until one of those IP is something they fucking love,
Yeah.
and they're going to forget all about it for
Right.
that one set, and then they'll go back to complaining about it again. But
Right.
they're going to enjoy the shit out of fucking Avatar:
Yeah.
The Last Airbender that's going to come out
Yeah.
at the end of this
The
year that we
unannounced.
fucking called.
Right.
Yeah.
We fucking called it.
Yeah.
Again, at the same time, there are people who aren't happy
Yeah.
unless they're complaining.
Yeah.
And I think that's like
It's
a lot
it's
of the
culture.
internet. And a lot of the internet is
Yeah.
that way. And I think it's also a very vocal minority. Because like if we go to
That's
Graham
because
Games,
those of us who aren't complaining aren't out there voicing our
right,
complaints.
right,
I'm playing Magic. I'm too busy
Yeah.
playing Magic.
right,
Right.
having fun. Yeah, I mean,
What were you saying? You were saying we were going to go to Graham Games.
like if we went to Graham Games and we talked to like last night when they were doing their pre-release and we were like had a mic and we went around and was like, how do you feel about
I would love to do that.
That'd be super fun.
Universes Beyond products in Magic or the state of Magic the Gathering? Most of them are probably going to have the same stance that we do of like, yeah, it's a lot or it's, it's too much to track, but like I just pay attention to the stuff I care about.
Like people think that it's like changing, but that's just us as an older generation seeing more shit happen quicker because we're older, seeing it happen slower. Like this isn't as fast as Magic used to come out. Well, you know
Right.
what?
It used to be 4 sets a year. Yeah, it'd be like, because they did 3 set blocks, 3 sets with one
So,
core
like-
set in the middle.
So like,
The pressure is coming from Hasbro, the parent company. Like, because Hasbro's failing as a company. And so, Wizards, from what I've heard, is the only profitable wing of that company.
really?
Yes. And that's, Wizards is what? D&D and Magic. There's other products. I think there's like a very popular Japanese card game they have.
Isn't it like their version of Magic?
Duel Masters.
Yeah, and
So they started the manga in Japan to
yeah.
build popularity of
Yeah.
Magic, but then the game that got more popular than Magic over there.
I remember that game, and I tried it, and I was like, this is fun. I liked it. There was like cool dinosaurs and dragons and shit. Like,
Yeah, I remember that, and Imagination was like its knockoff. We talked about it before, but like Imagination was just a knockoff of Duel Masters. I do want to call out again the fact that I got some positive feedback. I got
Yeah,
some
I want to
positive.
hear some of the positive feedback.
Yeah.
I got some positive.
Let's climb out of this sewer.
Right, because everybody, like, it's so easy to focus on the
It is.
negative.
I will never
is.
leave the sewer.
I'm
the sewer.
Lord Skinner. You're not gonna-
Calm down, Willard.
Oh no.
I was totally expecting like a Willard thing from like Duskmorn with rats.
Yeah. So we've talked a lot about the IP and how people are bitching about that. I do want to touch on other parts of the state of Magic. It's current.
Yeah.
I was pretty strong. I was a Pokemon collector for a long time. I still play Pokemon, the video games and stuff, but like, I was collecting Pokemon cards since I was younger, and I was collecting even in like ever since having like more stable income. I was collecting. One of the reasons I stopped collecting Pokemon cards is because people started to scalp them, and it started to be about the money and not the nostalgia. It started to be hard to get stuff, and it drove the prices of everything absolutely fucking bonkers. And I'm noticing a similar trend, since we've become a small content creator with Magic. I've noticed a trend where a lot of the openings are focused on how much money they made off the pack or what the cards are worth, and we do it sometimes for fun. But
It's
like,
exciting when you open a fucking
but, like,
$30 card.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people are doing Whatnot now, and a lot of
Yeah.
people are selling off their TikTok.
People are
or-
weighing cards packs at the store, dog.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that you can't do those things.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you shouldn't do those things. What I'm saying is I've noticed the trend in the state of like where we are as a player community.
Yeah.
I've noticed the collector and the, I don't want to call them scalpers just now, but people buying huge quantities
Yeah.
of collector's packs and of booster
Yeah.
boxes. I don't think that it's as nearly as bad as Pokemon. Like, in terms of like scalping, and that whole thing is like a business now. Like, collecting Pokemon cards is now a business, and it's not fun. It doesn't feel like it has a soul anymore. And I just noticed an
And they don't print
uptick.
anything new.
Right. I just
That's
noticed an
the other
uptick, and not only that, like all their characters are starting to
Well,
suck. Yeah, I just noticed the uptick in. Yeah, just not even the greed. Like, I don't want to call it more than it is. I'm not trying to detract anybody who does that kind of stuff. I'm just saying I've noticed like more people navigating that way, and then it is just like it used to be like peer player base, less collecting, and it was easy to see. And now it's seeming to kind of curve towards more what Pokemon does. Not nearly as bad, not nearly as steep.
I don't
but
know if local shops do it. I've seen that some shops, when they sell a booster box, will razor blade the back of the box, an X, and then now you can't resell that box as a sealed box. Like that's
actually sick. Actually, that's a good.
and
But stop scalping.
No, and it's 100% to stop scalping.
That's amazing. Like, props to
And
them.
does it stop that person from selling a sealed box? Absolutely. Can you get a sealed box off Amazon? Go do that.
Wait.
Don't buy it from
the
that shop,
razor
because-
blade. Oh, that
The seal.
plastic
Yeah, they
seal.
break
Yeah,
the
they break the seal there in the store on the back of the box with a razor blade. They leave a mark on the back of your box. And like, if you're a collector,
would be
just don't
fine
go
with
buy
that.
your own them.
Yeah, I would
But,
be
like,
fine with that.
No, yeah. If you're in it for the cards, you're gonna be fine with that. Like,
Okay, I get it. So they break the seal, and you're not because
You-
no one wants because you want a
it's
sealed box.
tampered with now.
Yeah, you can't prove
Because
that
to me, in my head, I'm like, I don't fucking care if all the
No,
packs that are in there.
we don't care because we're opening those packs and we're playing with those cards. But each scalpers, because most of the profit would be selling a sealed box as
Right.
opposed to sealed packs.
Right.
Because you're not gonna be like, I'm not paying twice this price
Oh,
for
yeah.
an opening. But to go back to your thing about what other creators are doing, and like even we do it, like, I guess my question is like, what is your thoughts on other content creators? Like, with
I don't-
Magic?
The point I want to make too again is I'm not saying that they shouldn't do it or
No,
whatever,
absolutely.
and it's not nearly as bad. Like I said, it's kind of I wanted to phrase that it's kind of tilting that direction, right? It's not nearly as bad because, and we brought up the whole scalping thing, which is great, and but like here's the difference. Innistrad, right? With the exception, like, what it was foundations, collectors packs, stuff go dry really fast because that's what gets heavily hit, right? I have no problem. I'm confident I could go tomorrow and pick up Aetherdrift, and that's been in pre-release now. That'll be the third day in pre-release, right?
Yeah.
The day the newest set of Pokemon came out the other day,
Yeah.
RLGS, sold out instantaneously.
Yeah.
And it's not because people wanted to go buy a box, or maybe even two, to open and sell and whatnot, and show like their fans or like be a small content creator or whatnot. They went and bought, trying to get all the chase cards so that they could resell them. They're doing that whole thing. It's like a big, huge fest, and there's a lot of people in on it. And they just, and then a kid, if our kid said, "Hey, mom and dad, I want a new box of the Pokemon, or I want a new couple of packs from that Pokemon set. I've been really good, and we wanted to go get it for him." Impossible.
We can't.
No fucking way, right? I've noticed a couple of the small content creators will have 4 or 5 collector boxes, right?
Yeah.
And the fact that you can afford that, fucking bravo. But like, it's fine. And then they're numbering them, and there's a couple people that are doing this just like Pokemon people are. They're numbering them, opening them, and showing which pack they got which box from, and like they're just doing tons of rips and stuff. Some of those people are doing it for fun. Some of them are going to collect some of those. Some of those are just doing to resale, right? And I'm not trying to tell people how to live their lives or they can't do that. Just make sure that you're not buying it out so hard that people can't play.
Yeah, you shouldn't go to your LGS and take out their stock of it. You know what I mean?
I'm just saying, be conscious about it. Let the players play. Let the kids play. Let the people who can't afford to go buy 6 boxes of fucking collectors get a couple collectors packs, man. But I know we talked about power creep as another thing that we wanted to discuss on the podcast for, this segment. Matt, how are you feeling about not just content change, but like how are you feeling about power creep in Magic?
I mean, again, it's just a different beast from when I used to play, and it's like you can't, once you go forward, like you can't go back, right? Like you can't be like, okay, now we're just gonna do a core set where it's like 85% reprint or 50% reprints, and 30% of those are going to be vanilla creatures. Like the cards just wouldn't sell.
Right.
So,
because you have to keep getting bigger, so you can slow it down.
Right. Like,
slow down.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, and if the game, people want to do powerful stuff. People want to cast powerful spells and stuff.
I want to create 5 copies of this guy right now.
You're right.
Yeah. Right. You mentioned power creep earlier. Mm-hmm. Did you have?
Yeah. No. I think it's natural. Like you have to have a power creep, otherwise you're gonna get bored. But when you go so fast that you're like, it's like, how are you going to continue? To keep up at this pace.
Yeah.
To keep growing at the pace you're going.
Yeah.
Like, when are you gonna? You're gonna run out of ideas. You're gonna run out of ways to, like, you're gonna have to come up with a new game. Like, Commander's not gonna be enough.
Yeah, I think Aetherdrift is gonna be a set that I like. But one thing I noticed, power creep related, I'm not trying to distract the conversation, that we noticed when the couple of packs we've opened is John and I have a Regal Imperasaur now, which is a 3-drop 5/4 dinosaur lord.
Triple green or?
No,
Double
1 and 2
green,
green.
1.
2 green pip, 1 colorless.
And it's a 5/4?
It's a 5/4, my guy. No,
all dinos get 1/1.
Bro.
That's wild.
There's a what was that? Calic.
Here, I'm going to it right now. I fucking. Alright, yeah. Calaxion Hunger Tyrant is like a 7/2 3-drop in black.
It's the black legendary vanilla.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Legendary vanilla. Just so you could just make a commander deck out of that 7 turn 2 drop.
Yeah.
But that goes
great.
back to the
That's fantastic. I can't wait to get one.
It goes to the whole power creep, and you're taking it from 0 to 60 too fast.
Yeah.
You didn't climb there.
Yeah. No, I agree.
On your seat.
I agree.
And it's not even that. Like, they can do whatever the fuck they want, but at the same time, they're gonna have to be the ones finding ways to keep everybody interested when they're like, wow, this is a lot
Right.
to handle.
The next thing that's going to happen is rule changes. To your point, it's going to be like, well, the format now is too powerful, so now Commander is 100 life.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It no longer,
Something, yeah.
the cards no longer fit the standard.
But still 10
Yeah.
poison counters.
That's turn 3? Turn 2?
Maybe.
Maybe.
I mean, if you have
But if
fucking
I-
Dark
if I-
Ritual in your hand, it's turn 1.
Turn one, I know, I can't wait.
But if I
Yeah.
It's the fact that it used to be a good card was power and toughness equal to its mana cost.
Yeah.
That used to be the good card. A 2/2 for 2 was a good card. A 4/4 for 4 was a good card.
Yep.
Now a
we're
7/2
looking
for
at-
3
Yeah.
seems a little crazy.
Yeah, the power creep. It's just that era. Every card has 3 paragraphs of text, or 3 abilities of text, whatever it is. But it is just
not Calaxian, my guy.
right.
He does have a long. He does have a long.
He's got a story.
text.
And
I think all of them do.
yeah, they all do. You gotta have
the flavor.
You would hope so. It'd be funny if it was just like, bleh.
It's funny, like
Gaskelder just has a license plate.
really.
Yeah.
That's funny.
It says license plate gas breath.
That's funny.
I really like the art on that card. That one makes me happy.
All right, we touched on the state of Magic. It kind of bleeds into, we talk about our LGS or similar LGSs around us that are, that we go to. But we go we're lucky enough to where we live in a suburb-esque area where there's options
Yeah.
for LGSs.
A lot.
Not a lot of people have that.
And not even small amount of options. Like
Yeah.
if we could go to the next city over and find 3 more LGSs outside of,
I mean,
outside of where we are.
yeah.
And, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if
And we-
somebody
and,
walked
like,
up.
We have 3 here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody walked up and would have said hey, there's a new one that just opened up that I had no idea about, right? I just wanted to touch on we have those options, like Mariah said, we have several options, but I have I'm an opinionated guy. I have strong opinions about a lot of the things near us, a lot of the LGS near us, and I could rank them off the top of my head instantaneously, right? But I can tell you exactly why. And so what I wanted to touch on is what do you love the most about a card shop? What do you love about an LGS? And what makes it great in your opinion? What are the things that make a good LGS to you? Mariah, how about you tell us what you think makes a good LGS?
Well, something I've noticed about our LGS that we frequent, and most LGSs, is female presence. And how you talk to people who come in that are women. The thing I like about them is
There's one in particular on this topic of female presence that does it really well.
yeah, they do what is it, Thursday nights, their Thursday night magic
Venus
is
and
the Venus and Mercury one, where they do all girls, and it's a good
Right.
way to pull in
Right.
customers that generally get
Marginalized.
marginalized. We get shut out or
Right.
gate kept because we're girls or something. Also, cleanliness,
Oh, that's a good one.
because I've been into LGSs where even when nobody's in there, they smell like dirty old locker rooms. It's
Yeah.
I mean, I understand that some of the demographic is less than hygienic, but your store can not smell like them when they're not there.
Yeah.
So, I have more product. I like it because then I have more options.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like being able to choose from older packs and newer packs and stuff.
Yeah, that's good.
Especially because I didn't play a lot of the older packs.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, the oldest. Yeah.
that's good. That's good. John?
Yeah, I agree. Large selection would be important. I like singles. An organized singles counter is cool. I don't like going across your counter and seeing doubles. That's weird. I feel like there could be. You can put anything in that spot.
Yeah, I agree. You don't have to put the doubles in.
It does scream filling counter space. It has to just have that good vibe. Yeah, it can't smell bad. I don't like to hang out places that smell bad.
No, vibe. You try to generalize it, but vibe's a big thing. Like it's hard to it's hard to categorize, but like like
I don't know, like soft drinks on hand or water handy, like bathroom access, like generally clean. But like also like
having your basic needs met at the LGS.
No, yeah, but like
Because
also
if I'm spending 2 hours there, I'm not gonna want to fucking be uncomfortable. I get that.
I know. It'd be funny you bleep me out, but yeah, GG has like a really open policy for like D&D and Magic, and it's all like Discord based, or even just like go in the store to sign up.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of people go in there, like, and like inclusivity. Like there should be like, oh, coming out here, you don't feel safe somewhere else. I think an LGS should be a place for people that can't hang out at the gym or at a Starbucks or where I don't know where people hang out in public. So like the social So like I think there are great LGSs. I like to buy cards in public. That's fun. I like to converse with shopkeep. You know what I mean? Yeah. He's back there cleaning his glass. Like, how you doing, John? But
fixing his game consoles.
I'll be honest, and like I'm not a big like sit at a table. Like Wizards knows me. They know that most of us don't play in public.
Yeah.
But we are kitchen table Magic players.
Social anxiety.
Yeah, I just don't. I don't like being watched play Magic. I'd rather play Magic with you. Yeah.
Yeah, and then that's the thing is like I do think that going to the LGSs and playing at drafts or stuff every now and then is fun, but it's just like it's not what I want to do every time.
Right. Matt, how about you?
Yeah, I mean, you guys pretty much covered everything that I would say. Yeah, vibe is huge. Like having a good, knowledgeable staff that isn't. I'm just having flashbacks of like when I was a teenager. The only card shop around was in Sumner, and the dude who owned it, his name was fucking total asshole. Like, you could tell he just didn't like teenagers, you know. And I don't blame him, but like, fuck, dude, the guy was just an asshole. But yeah, like vibe, cleanliness, a good. I buy singles, so like a good selection of singles I think is important. Also, like what Mariah had said about a variety of packs, because like I'm contemplating.
If you saw some Mirrodin on a shelf right now.
If I saw like Onslaught and Scourge, I would buy.
Decks. You remember them decks?
Yeah,
when they were like
the starter decks.
Expert?
Yeah.
Oh man,
I would totally.
I go on TCG and look at them, and I'm just like, should I do it? I need a standard deck.
Be fun, but a good selection of product, but also like, and I think GG is building this a good community, because that's really what's going to pull people in, is like not having a community that is full of rules lawyers. I mean, it depends on at what power level you're playing or whatever. If you're playing CEDH, yes, you need to be more strict about the rules, but like if you're playing a casual game of Commander and you fucking tapped your lands wrong or whatever, and you can't double spell, and you're like, oh hey, can I roll back, you know, whatever.
Takesy backsies.
But yeah, I don't know, I think a good sense of community, good vibe, and then good product selection.
Yeah, no, those are all really good things, and I can tell you from experience how, like, out of rating, all of those are big things, right? Those are all like the bigger factors of it. But like the staff, how friendly, I could, like, GG wasn't originally a Magic place, right? They weren't even a card place at all. They started retro video games. It's one of the parts that I love about it, is like it's a game store in total, right? It's like it sells retro video games. You can go see a bunch of cool
games,
stuff.
Right? There's some board games in there.
I think they're going into D&D and stuff now, which is kind of neat.
So tabletop. Okay.
But they do have like some random. They have VHSs that they just collect nerd memorabilia and retro stuff, and it's all really neat. And that's cool, but like, the staff is nice. The staff makes a point to recognize their regulars. Like, they know John now. Yeah. Like, I think they'd recognize you. I don't know if they know your name, right? But
I don't know.
They'd recognize you as one of them. Like, they recognize Micah when they go in. They don't know his name, but they're like, oh yeah, your buddy was in here. No, I think Mariah brought it up earlier. I've been in LGSs where they do not make you feel welcome.
Yeah.
or you're an inconvenience because they're playing a game with their friends, or they're talking to people who they think are super knowledgeable about Magic, and you're some new guy they don't know, and they're too cool for you. I've asked for like, hey, what's the price on that, and they won't even look it up. They're too good for it. They're like, well, you probably get it cheaper somewhere else. You probably like it just like
That's the unnamed place.
yeah, the unnamed place that I like. If we ever do like an official ranking system of the ones nearby, like that one's getting a fucking fat F from me.
Or you just not ever put it on his.
No, it doesn't deserve to be on the list.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll just fucking
So
dwarven shun it. Being made to feel welcome. So like you guys mentioned knowledgeable. Like they hired a magic guy at GG now, right? But that wasn't what drew me to them in the beginning. Like the owners, both of them, incredible people, super nice, super friendly. They not just the Magic people, not just the Pokemon people, not just the video game people. They know their regulars.
yeah.
You walk in and it feels like that place has a soul. You know, it feels like that
It's
place.
like Cheers.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody knows your name.
Okay, I've been in there a handful of times, and I see some of the same people coming in,
Yeah.
and it doesn't even matter if it's like they're nice to the people, the regulars, but like you see new people coming in, and they're still gonna be nice.
Yeah.
They're still gonna be like helpful. They're gonna be like, what do you need? What can I help you with?
I think of Graham Games as like
You know, like
an
roasted.
antique store of gaming.
Yeah.
Because like you're right. They have such a wide variety of stuff that like you don't know what you're gonna find in there.
It's fun just to walk around
It
sometimes.
is. It's fun just to look around and see
Yeah.
what they have. The kids like to walk around in there and be
Yeah,
like, oh,
it-
look at these.
Yeah. It's like an old antique store.
Yeah,
But
you'll find a random Godzilla toy from the 90s. No, but you guys mentioned community, and they're doing a great job building a community. A lot of their Magic players
Building a
knew
safe community.
it's safe. They're gonna do it with D&D. The community is great. We've played there a couple drafts. All the people are nice enough.
yeah.
There's a dude that goes in there and opens Pokemon cards, and he's
Yeah.
an odd.
Yeah.
Let's be
Yeah.
honest. Like,
He's-
not that I'm not odd.
Oh, that one guy. Yeah. Yeah.
But
He's
here's the thing: is like he feels safe enough and welcome that
yeah.
he feels okay to be himself.
Right.
They'll
Right.
post
He's
your
not crazy.
successes
That's
on
the
their
thing.
social media. Like if they get cool pulls in the shop, they'll post a picture of you with your
Oh,
pulls.
yeah.
They'll do. I think it's a neat place, and that soul, and then also like in building a community at LGS, having a standard set of rules and principles. Like they don't put up with bullying or anything. It's on their rule board. Like if you're gonna be a like they're much more PC about it. But if you're gonna be a piece of shit, we're gonna kick you out.
Yeah.
And that's so dope.
No,
Eagerly.
but yeah, dude, like, yeah, bullies should be taken out and dragged through the streets
Right.
naked.
Exercised from the community.
Just have a good attitude towards your customers,
Yeah.
your customer base, and not just the regulars. Like obviously, you should know your regulars. They are probably funding half your fucking business. But yeah, that's the thing is like if I'm sitting in there and you're treating like if I'm a regular and I see you treating someone who's not a regular like shit, that's gonna make me think poorly of you.
Yeah, that's a great point. So that equality portion of it.
That's the thing. It doesn't matter my loyalty to whatever. Like my loyalty is to myself,
Yeah,
not
but
to the
that's-
store.
But even
I can
the-
buy magic.
and
cards
You
for.
looking for peace of mind out here in little old Grand Washington? Why don't you head on down to GG?
Just turn this into an ad.
They'll treat you right.
Back to positivity. Aetherdrift just dropped.
The artwork is pretty
Even if you
cool.
haven't grabbed any, I think we've all done a little tiny bit of research. What are a few cards that you are excited for, that you have seen, that haven't got, or that you've pulled so far, that you are stoked for?
Boom.
You
Pulled
looked at me.
Captain Howler, the Sea Scourge.
Good luck.
You haven't seen him. He is Street Sharks in Magic. So I'm on board, and I'm going to make a Street Sharks deck. I love the Lord of the Undead reprint. That is super, super cool zombie artwork, and I am 1,000% behind it.
On board.
Oh my gosh, I want one so bad. Mariah pulled one, but like I'll just get my own.
What one?
Oh, dude.
What one is it?
The Lord of the Undead you pulled
Yeah.
today.
Lord of the Undead.
Isn't that sick? Isn't that fucking sick? Zach's gonna pop it up on the screen. Everyone's gonna be like,
That's
"Oh,
cool.
let me see."
He's
It's
got
fucking
this.
No,
sick.
no. The other.
Cloudspire Cycle. I got the alt art.
stacked.
It's done
I
by
want that.
Yuko Shimizu. Is the artist.
Oh, that's the Akira motorcycle.
It is
Right?
so
Yeah.
thick, and like I don't want like the artist Yuko like did really well. Like they did super duper good, and like I'm not trying to be like you copy this person. I feel, and like maybe I'm dead wrong, but it looks like they were very inspired by like Rebecca Guay's work, who I am also a huge fan of. It is so gorgeous to look at. Like it's like why I'm into Magic is cards like this. I mean, I'll show you. The land arts are sick, very Mad Maxy. They're all from the view of the inside of the card.
Oh, cool.
And you're like, yeah, the mountains. It's like running through a wasteland, and like it's all sick. And then yeah, collect Scion. That 7/2 3-drop black card. I'm gonna put it in every black deck. Well, why wouldn't you in a commander game? Like that's ridiculous.
I mean, that's a card that has to be answered, right?
yeah, immediately. And like if the things you could do to it, give me a trample, give me a death touch, give me anything.
Double
else.
strike.
Yeah.
Especially if you're playing commander damage, that thing gets gross real fast.
Yeah.
But grab that on turn 1 with a dark ritual.
Yeah,
They just start swinging.
It's gonna be dope. But yeah, that's my Aetherdrift. Super dope 5 things.
Matt, how about you? You got a few cards?
Yeah. So I gave myself some restrictions. I was gonna try and do just commons and uncommons, but red was pretty weak, so I chose a rare for that one, and I just did one of each.
Yeah.
So the first one was Sundial Dawn Tyrant, which is the white legendary vanilla, which is a 2-mana 3/3, which power creep. You know, back to that was just insane. But just from my perspective, I'm looking at it from like limited play for this card.
Right.
It's gonna be insane. Like 2-drop 3/3. That's nuts. For blue, Transit Mage. Has anyone seen this?
No.
So it's a 3-mana 2/2, so 2 colorless and a blue. When this creature enters, you may search your library for an artifact card with mana value 4 or 5, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle.
Dang, that's much better than any. It's always 3 or less when you get a card like
Yes, I was like, this thing grabs Boom Pile, it grabs Roaming Throne, it grabs Tony or Iron Man. Like, I looked up every 4-mana and 5-mana artifact. It was like pages and pages, so I didn't get through it all. But no, I'm just super excited. I think this is like a good pickup. It's a human wizard too. So for black, Risky Shortcut, which is just a sorcery, 2 mana and a black, draw 2 cards. Each player loses 2 life, which I thought was like a nice spin on like Sign and Blood effects, where you usually lose the 2 life. The rare red, Count on Luck, and it's triple red for an enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn.
Ooh.
Red just doesn't get good card draw very often. And I know this isn't card draw per se, but like
it's like
It's a risky
tutor
mechanic in red, and like I
Right.
see it, and it's intriguing. But like, dude, if you don't have anything, it doesn't go back into your deck.
No.
dog, and that freaks me out.
but that's red. That's red.
That freaks me out.
Red
You
is
don't have to be-
risky.
But
Yeah.
that's why you play red black and you don't play something.
Last card was Molt Tender. It's a green, just a single green 1/1. You can tap to mill a card, or tap it to exile a card from your graveyard and add 1 mana of any color. And I was like, this. From a limited perspective, I was like, well, this helps, you know, fix your land, fix your mana and stuff. But it seems like a spin on Deathrite Shaman, which is basically green.
Yeah.
But yeah, those were just like it's easy to get excited about the rares and mythics, and I was just like, well, let me see what cards would be fun, common and uncommon.
Me and Zach made trades today after acquiring a bunch of Aetherdrift. Well, not a bunch, a couple of packs. But most of the stuff I wanted from Zach were uncommons.
Yeah.
And a lot had to do with not like just the artwork, but what they did. Like, there's some sick zombies coming out in Aetherdrift.
I don't think I was gonna be this hyped for this set, but after
I didn't
opening
either.
it,
Like, I was like, I
want
want to get Mabel a motorcycle. I got Mabel a motorcycle. I'm stoked. But yeah, what a cool little set. And I really want to make a vehicle set now.
Okay, so honestly, I'm really excited about more of like the black vehicles, just because they're dark Like they're really, some of them are
I
really,
love them.
some of them are really
They're
dope.
monsters.
They really haven't had a ton of black vehicles, and Kamigawa put a couple out, but they really don't have a large selection of black vehicles.
OTJ did a couple.
They did a couple.
they did.
Well, they were
They had
mounts.
mounts, yeah.
But I mean,
Caustic Bronco.
Caustic Bronco's a good
gross.
card.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like some of
What a good
the
card.
black vehicles that I'm looking at that we've pulled are just like they're gnarly. They're cool.
No, they're gnarly. They're
Dude, the
zombie.
artwork-
The
the artwork
artwork
is so cool.
gosh, yeah.
But
It's-
I want some of them
Holy-
cards.
so good.
About my gas guzzler.
Gas
And I
guzzler.
fucking love the fucking.
That is cool art.
It's such a cool art, and I love it. I'm gonna have you pass that to Matt because
Yeah.
he keeps wanting to get a better look at that.
I want to
Ripclaw
pull this up to
Wrangler.
this thing then.
The Ripclaw Wrangler is a sick card.
And because the same thing. That one's.
Right? His eyes are all bulging out of his head.
But like the Ripclaw Wrangler is the same like the art, and because I'm really excited about the vehicles because I've never really used vehicles.
Yeah.
But this one reminds me of Mad Max.
Yeah, that's the
Another-
It's a huge vibe.
Another tie-in that would be like,
Really sick. You
Yeah.
can't do the whole set, but you can do
This
6 or
card.
7 cards.
It's gotta be this card. Look at this. It's so funny.
I can't show that one because
What
of the
is-
green screen and
Oh.
the other card's all green.
what is that?
So it's Lumbering World Wagon, and the art on it is fantastic. This dude's like breakdancing with his vehicle.
No.
The final card has to be the district mascot because of the corgi with the saddle, and it makes me so freaking happy because he's so. It is also a green card, so you're not gonna be able to see it.
You can see the corgi has like the background is disappearing, but you can still see the corgi. It's kind of thick.
Yeah.
But my problem with this card is that every time that they make a corgi card, it's always the corgi, the Welsh, and there's never the black and white.
Yeah. Oh,
Never
baby
the
Ray.
Ray.
Oh.
Never the Ray corgi.
And like, I would love to have a card with just a black and white corgi with a saddle and a fucking helmet on. Because
Proxy Ray into that card.
I was thinking about that, doing a proxy of him with this one.
Yeah.
But also, those cards are fucking dope because they do cool things.
They are sick. I'm more excited about this than
But
I
the
thought I was gonna be. The art is one of the best parts, but I love the graffiti-esque, like John mentioned, like the West Coast, like cartoon style. It's sick.
Yeah.
Cards that I'm excited for Aetherdrift. I got a few of these already. A few I don't, one I don't have, but I really want. Regal and Pearsaur.
Gnarly.
We talked about it at the beginning of the episode a little bit. A 3-drop 5/4 Dinosaur Lord. I'm a fucking Dino boy at heart, so that fucking I didn't even know that card was coming out until I opened it, and I was like, yep, that's going directly into Geeshaft.
That's got to be rare, right?
It is a rare.
It is
Okay,
rare,
yeah.
but I feel like it's gonna be one of those rares that you're gonna just find.
And again, if anyone's listening, you follow us on TikTok
I saw
or
it.
any of the other
That's
things,
cool,
you'll
yeah.
you'll hear that I've talked about Roxanne a bunch. That's my favorite deck at the moment. Radiant Lotus has to go in that deck.
That card's gonna get banned.
Yeah, I'm sure it will.
It's gonna get
shits
banned.
out Black
Bro.
Lotuses.
Yeah, dude, like it'll be out probably for a couple months, and then we're like, this is so cool, but yeah, dude,
Everyone's
that's
gonna be like,
I need to put
It has
in
Lotus in
Roxanne
the
once,
name,
and
they're
I
gonna
need to
do
pop
it.
it once. I need it before it
only
gets banned.
if
Adaptive Omni Tool I pulled today, or yesterday. That SOB is going in my Arna deck. It gets a 1 equipped creature. It's an equipment. Equipped creature gets 1/1 for every artifact you control. And then when that creature swings, you get to look at the top X cards of your library, and then you can put an artifact from on top of one of those cards into your hand. The rest on the bottom of your library.
Yeah.
Like Tudor Junior in Arna. I'm gonna copy the shit out of it. It's gonna get super strong because everything's artifacts and equipment's in that deck. That one's pretty sick. And then I have one that's like etheric amplifier. We pulled also, and it's an artifact that's in the field. But then you can pay 4 and tap it to double the amount of counters on a permanent, or pay 4 and tap to do something else too. But I was just excited to see pay for it. This is like the reverse of power creep, where it's like Court of Garenbrig. It's like every turn double counters on everything. Well, this one's like pay 4 and double it on something just once, or find a way to break it, untap it, whatever, right? Make it free. But you can break anything anymore.
Yeah.
Those are cards that I thought were neat, and it's gonna be cool to put that in just like an artifact. Just be like, cool, I have another way to add counters onto Drist or something, So pretty excited about that. Yeah, those are just 4 that I had. One more on the same topic. So Aetherdrift just came out. We just went through a pass of Innistrad Remastered. What is one card you either fell in love with, rediscovered, discovered for the first time, or that surprised you just out of Innistrad? John, you want to take a crack?
Got this in a trade. I got a rooftop storm in a trade. You may pay 0 rather than pay the mana cost for zombie creature spells you cast, and it's a 1 blue and 5 enchantment, and so just free zombies. And so I didn't get the first round of Innistrad, so getting the remastered and then getting to trade in the remastered, seeing what's out there, that's super cool. Because free zombies. And it's free zombies when I cast them. It doesn't restrict it from my hand. I can cast them from the graveyard for free.
Wow.
Yeah, and like so many zombie cards are cast this card from your graveyard.
Yeah, there's a lot.
And so it's just like that's gonna be gross.
Yeah.
So yeah, hell yeah, Innistrad.
Yeah. Mariah, you got one?
I don't really have any. Like, Innistrad just felt like it was like, I can't say that there's a card that I really liked if most of the cards have already been printed. And so I guess that's a big thing for me. And we didn't buy too much Innistrad, did we?
No, we got a lot of everything we needed out of trades. And Matt, did you have any or any?
Not so much. I'm just excited that a lot of the cards, the high value cards, got a reprint to drop the price. Like Crater Hoof. I want to pick up a Crater Hoof. I'm bummed that they didn't, like, one card that I think should have been in there was fucking Cavern of Souls.
I thought there was rumored that it was gonna be, but then I never saw it.
But whatever.
Because they're putting it into the Avatar one, and it's gonna.
That would be sick.
Secret Tunnel. Secret Tunnel.
If you get that, I would be so hyped for our podcast. Just for fucking...
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep reposting that clip. If you called that and that's what happens, dude, I'm just gonna repost the shit out of it forever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you were saying Crater Hoof.
Yeah, Crater Hoof. Just because I don't have one. It'd be nice to pick up that. GG has the super dope movie poster art of Meat Hook Massacre. I don't have one of those, so that'd be fucking cool to get one of those. But yeah, I think it's exciting to see. Again, with like the state of the game, it's nice to see expensive cards get reprints so they're a little bit more affordable for people who don't have the expendable income.
Mariah mentioned that we didn't play during the original Innistrad, Shadows over Innistrad. Is that what the original one was?
It's Avacyn.
No, Avacyn Restored was the second visit.
I think it was just Innistrad.
Yeah, something like that. The original Innistrad set we never played. But when I jumped in as a teenager or later as an adult, the Innistrad set that was out, the revisit was Avacyn Restored, which I loved.
It was 2011 Innistrad.
Yeah, cool. Crater Hoof. It had Avacyn, had Cathar's Crusade. It just had a bunch of cards that I really loved. And I played. So I never played it. The one card that surprised the shiest out of me was Cryptolith Rite. Cryptolith Ritual?
No, I think it's Cryptolith Rite.
Cryptolith Rite, it makes all your creatures tap for any color mana, which is something that's super handy. I fall into...
Fix-it.
Yeah, color fixing for 5-color, 4-color decks for me. I put it into Najila to be able to trigger her second ability to have extra combats.
Yeah,
it's just
Cryptolith
Rite. Yeah, so that one surprised the shit out of me. I didn't even know that card existed until I pulled it from Mariah. Pulled the alt art for it from Innistrad Remastered, and I was like, that card's actually really sick.
Yeah.
And so that was one that surprised the shit out of me. But super happy we got it. Yeah. But again, to reiterate the sentiment, I don't think we're probably done with Innistrad. The only thing I would ever want again is probably an Avacyn poster art.
I would go back through and collect more poster arts, but
I think, yeah, that's what I would do is the poster arts, but
And
I like the poster arts a lot, though.
At that point, I would just buy the single. You know.
yeah, instead of trying to chase it for packs.
Before we cut it off here, for an episode, I do want to mention that we are planning to do another giveaway. I think we're gonna start the giveaway once we hit 1,000 TikTok followers and 100 YouTube subscribers, and that's when the giveaway will begin. We do want to open up the floor to the people that listen to this to kind of get ideas about what they'd like to see in a giveaway. You know, like what's something that would be dope to receive in a giveaway, and this would be a big milestone for us to do. So we'd be trying to spoil our listeners with this one.
But we do want to say thank you for those who are currently supporting this.
yeah, because like 1,000 is a lot of people, right?
It is.
So,
But no, we're trying to do another giveaway. Again, we'll start the giveaway 100 subs on YouTube, 1,000 followers on TikTok, and we want feedback on what you guys would like to see in a giveaway. Is it singles? Is it booster boxes? Is it
gear?
Is it gear? Is it
accessories?
Gear?
Yeah.
We did accessories in the last one.
What do you want from us? What do you want from us?
What do you want? No, just tell us. Yeah, give us some ideas. Shoot us a comment. I mean, the interaction's great too. Shoot us a comment on YouTube. So just drop us a comment. Tell us what you like. What you'd like to see in a giveaway. And we'll do our best to accommodate. Thanks everybody for the support lately. It's been pretty sick. Keep interacting, and we'll keep making content, whether you like it or not.
Shout out to Bard the Jeff.
Shout out to Bard the Jeff.
All right.
You guys want to go build SpongeBob decks?
This episode of Attempt to Cast was recorded, produced, and edited by the Calf EDH Productions team. Theme song by Jeff the Bard. Follow Jeff on Instagram at BardTheJeff. As always, this and every episode of Attempt to Cast are made possible by listeners and viewers like you.